we'll put it like that.
Nice.
What's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Coe's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
Awesome.
It was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, "Say it ain't so, Coe! Say it ain't so!" Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game, but it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time.
Yeah.
How was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wished I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just say, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like, he's got the ball yet. I mean, first NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, this is so cool to see. And it was fun to watch. And, it didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory. What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those one of the best guests ever, the Buccateers in the house. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work. Nothing like it. So it's incredible. It looks like we got Stunna bumbling in. I'm Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna is hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like you got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
And he was trying to pull me in big time. And then I was like, hey, nothing's happened with Indianapolis yet. Like, I really want to give Indy a chance. And then also I talked to Cody Bruton, once he took over Rich McCann, and still like, well, look, I was like, y'all just give me the opportunity to explore free agency, see what's going on, and then kind of make us do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Buccateers, a wide receiver, Kalen Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod. This is the Buccateers. You're tapped in, and here we go. Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna is hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
How the hell is everybody? If you are wondering why we did back-to-back intros, which some of you might be, it's our 300th episode of the Buccateers podcast. We had to pay homage to the past and the present here on the Buccateers. I cannot believe it's been 300 shows already. and it's time to keep that trend going. And how the hell is everybody? J-Lo, howdy, hey, howdy, ho. How the hell are you? Happy Bucs game day. Happy 300th episode. We got giveaways. We got cats in the house. We got a lot of OGs in the building already. Pep and Steppin', Bud Cannibalist, Dude's a Monster, and a ton of great others. B-Shuck in the house as well. Icewater Olson, Bud Cannibalist. What a chat to start episode 300. J-Lo, how the hell we doing?
Good, brother. Happy 300. Happy game day. It's a great weekend of football for preseason. And it's beautiful out there. Hot, but it's beautiful out here in the Tampa Bay area. How you doing, brother?
Good. Episode 300 is the primary of the show, the celebration, the shebang of the day. Cats, happy 300, brother. You've been here through a lot of these episodes. You were one of the originals of the Buccateers, and here you are all these years later still. How you doing, brother?
Boy, time flies. What year did we, was it 2020, 19? I can't even recall the years now. All the years seem to blend together now.
Yeah, so late 2019, early 2020 was the start of the Buccateers.
There we are. Yeah, it's an incredible run, and here's the 300 more, and another 300 more after that. But yeah, great to be here on a game day, a preseason game day, but still a game day nonetheless.
Still a game day nonetheless is right. And Cats, I remember some of my favorite shows through the years were just when it was simple, right? The simple times. Us Two or Stunna was sprinkled in. We just had fun talking history of the Bucs. And you can see by our listeners, we got old listeners, new listeners. Christopher Cole saying congrats on 300. Our guy B-Shuck saying congrats on 300. I missed a couple, but better late than never. That's all right. That's all right. New, old, we love you all, and we are honored to have you guys in the ring with us this Saturday on our Saturday Showdown as we preview Bucs Steelers. We got a lot of giveaways to be had. How about a giveaway right now? Let's do that. J-Lo, what do you think? A koozie, a flag, a L-Stot, a Ring of Honor coin? What should we give away?
I say we give a flag, man. Let's start with the bang. Let's go with the flag.
Right,
I got mine back here. Let's spread the love, baby.
Flag to be given away as we speak right now on air. If you can name, the first person to comment, both Buccaneers Super Bowl MVPs will win this flag. So the 2002 Super Bowl MVP and the 2020 Super Bowl MVP, the first one to comment the correct answer in the chat will win this beautiful brand new Buccaneers flag. As you see, J-Lo has his in the background. I got mine over there as we speak, but this could be yours if you win the giveaway. Cats, you'll pick the next item we give away, brother, and we'll kind of just have fun during the show. Hey, B-Shuck wins a flag.
There you go.
There we go.
Dexter Jackson and Tom Brady. Judah, you answered slightly after. You were right there. You got the correct answers, but you were just a little late. Pep and Steppin' just a little late. Actually, I'm sorry. Fred Moore is above B-Shuck, it looks like. Fred Moore was just before B-Shuck, it looks like, at 9:55. B-Shuck was 9:55 as well. But in the algorithm of the chat, Fred Moore came out on top. Tom Brady, Dexter Jackson. So a lot of good answers there. Congratulations to Fred Moore. My apologies, B-Shuck. Stick around, win some more. Once you win once, you're done, right? So Fred, congrats, but you're not eligible to win the next couple. But B-Shuck, Judah, Donnie, Bud, keep hanging around and playing with us. We got creamsicle koozies, flags, and so much more. Congrats, Fred. My apologies for missing you originally. I don't know how the hell that happened, but Olivia's stopping by. We love our lady listeners. Happy 300, fellas. Thank you very much, Olivia. Yeah, sorry again, B-Shuck. We'll get another giveaway going. But Fred, congrats. Reach out to us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, however the hell you want to get a hold of us, or me, Tampa Tones on Twitter, and we'll make that happen. We'll send you that flag just in time for the new season. Fred has a brand new flag. Speaking of new season, today continues the start of new season. Pittsburgh, Tampa. We had joint practices, fellas. It went well, in my opinion. It went so well that we're not going to see Baker Mayfield today, which is a good thing. Cats, I heard Baker was killing it out there. I heard that McMillan, I heard Igbuka, I heard Evans had field days against Pittsburgh. Cats, kind of thoughts on the concept of joint practices in general. I enjoy him as time goes on. I'm more of a fan of him, and it's always a good thing when the Bucs show out, and it seems like the Bucs did just that, brother, against Pittsburgh this past Thursday, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it gets monotonous and boring practicing against your own teammates constantly all the time. So, a joint practice is a great idea. I've been able to do it twice now, Tennessee and Pittsburgh. And yeah, I heard the Bucs had a great day, especially offensively. Jalen Ramsey, was not what he used to be, but still, it's great to see Mike lighting it up out there. That way, yeah, holding an eye, nowadays, it's not like it used to be. You had 4 preseason games, and the third game was a dress rehearsal, and everybody played for at least a half. Now, you really see him at all, and not going to. And given, I always say the main most important thing about preseason is just get out as healthy as possible. So, well-deserved night off for our 3 guys.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Cats. And really, at this point, all you got to do is next week put in Baker for like a drive or two, let him hand off the ball, let him throw it like underneath a couple times, and kind of keep it easy, in my opinion. And there's really no point in pushing a guy like Mike Evans or Levante David. You know what the hell they're going to do out there when they step on that football field. I agree that I like preseason still in terms of roster battles, right? Like the younger guys, the guys fighting for the 50 through 53 spots, the guys trying to work their way up the depth chart. I love preseason for all of them. Who I don't love it for is guys like Mike Evans, Levante David, Baker Mayfield. I'd even lump Vita Vea in that category. Keep him safe by all means. Even Kalijah Cansey. I know he's younger, but a guy who's showed he could be the best of the best when healthy. You just got to wrap these guys in bubble wrap. And I do agree some of them need their reps, and that's great. But get him in, get him the hell out, and we'll see what happens. The great Abraham, and that's what practice is for. You're going to start seeing more of these joint practices. And Cats, I think you bring up a good point too. The Bucs have 2. The Bucs had 2 with Tennessee and with Pittsburgh. Usually in years past, some years they've had 2, but the Bucs were a team that normally did 1 of these. It seemed like every preseason. Yeah. So now the fact we're doing 2, I think we're trending in the direction more so of, hey, the important guys play in these joint practices while the roster battle, depth battle guys are kind of balling out in the preseason game. And I think that's how the blueprint moves forward. We're eventually probably going to shrink to 2 preseason games, and you'll probably have joint practices for both of those preseason games. So we'll see what happens. But good point there, Cats, on how the Bucs had 2 of them. That is epic. JT Olson, sup, y'all? Our guy, Icewater Olson, in the house from Bucs Report. But J-Lo, thoughts on the Bucs wrapping up joint practices this past Thursday with Pittsburgh? Seemed like a lot of good things to be had going on over there. Is a great Abraham says, hi guys, looking forward to seeing Shiloh step up after Roberts' injury. Yes, that was sad. JJ Roberts did go down in that practice, so we'll talk about that. And Elijah Klein and Nick Jackson as well. All of them have 6 years of college experience. Yeah, it's quite the new world for that. But J-Lo, thoughts? B-Shuck has some good ones. Not a lot of fight for this team with so few spots available. What a great sign it is. Yeah, and that's a great point, too. In years past, you've always been having more important reps, I would say, because even last year, you had wide receiver 3 up for grabs. Who was going to win it? Palmer and McMillan. That means wide receiver 4 was up for grabs, which means 5 was, which means the tight end room was more tricky to lay out last year as Culp was a rookie. Some more young guys. Bucky Irvin was a rookie, right? Him and Rashad White were kind of battling it out. So you had a lot more intense battles last year, and that's a great point by B-Shuck. So, J-Lo, the practices didn't have to be, scrap, fight, seemingly.
Well, to me, Pittsburgh's a more disciplined team under Mike Tomlin, so that's one thing I will say about Pittsburgh. It was a better competition, I feel like, and to hear that the Bucs had a great day on offense on a very underrated Pittsburgh defense for the most part, because they're pretty much known for their defense. It's spectacular, and it's good. We're not going to have to see Baker, Mike, Levante on the field. They're vets. They don't need to be on there. It'd be good to, to get Teddy Bridgewater some reps. He's going to get some playing time tonight. Trask probably will start it off, and show that why he's QB number 2. Unfortunate for JJ Roberts with his injury. Now it just gives Shiloh more motivation to go out there and ball out, which he's been very fun, to please the audience. When I was at the game, that's what they're all screaming Shiloh. So just creates more available spots, Now JJ Roberts obviously was favored to win, but now he's out, so now it's up to Shiloh now. So I'm looking forward to seeing these backups go out there and ball out more. Nick Jackson, and then, of course, Elijah Klein, at center to keep more practice. And plus, I want to see what the offensive line does in the trenches, when it comes to protecting the backup. They did such a really great job last week, but now you got more of a better competition in Pittsburgh. So we'll see how that goes tonight.
We'll surely see how that goes. As Cleve and me stopping by saying happy Saturday, boys. Before I forget, too, happy birthday to Antoine Winfield Jr. Tweez, how could I almost forget? Is he sent Tyreek Hill packing in the Super Bowl with the little deuces peace sign. Cats, quick thoughts on Winfield's birthday today, and we do need the Winfield of a couple of years ago to show up, which I think he will surely. I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, from what I had heard, early on in training camp, right from the get-go, and obviously I know it's practice, but I had been hearing that he looked great out there. Looked more like himself, looked healthy. I know he's got a sore lower leg. It's a little bit of a vague indicator, but it doesn't, it's not keeping him out week 1 from everything that I've heard. So I'm excited for him, hopefully a full season healthy. And if he can do that, I think he's going to get back to being the player he was prior last season. And we need him to.
Cats, that's a good point with the vagueness of the injury, but it seems like, as you said, he'll be back week 1. And maybe this is one of those things where, hey, without really saying it, we're going to give him the Evans treatment. We're going to give him the Levante treatment, but he's only been in the league for this long. So, maybe it's more optics by the team's part to say, hey, why risk it too? This guy wasn't 100% last season. We want him to be 100% this season. And, we want to see what happens with that. So I think that's a good point. And I love Tweez. And I heard he looked great too before the injury. But yeah, a little weird how they're being very vague, but to me, I'm going to take it as a good thing, and maybe that means it's a nothing burger. I don't really know, but we'll see. JT Olson saying, liking the creamsicle hat. Thanks, guy. We like him too, and we're going to give away a creamsicle koozie in a little bit. Maybe somebody could be drinking a creamsicle koozie in their hats. I want to see Watson. Do you think we will cut him? This one's a tough question. This one's a tough question because they still have him, right? If it was that easy of a choice to say we're going to cut him, we're going to move on, he's clearly struggling here, they would have done it by now. They would have packed his bags. They've been cutting players already. They cut Ryan Coe, undrafted free agent, a week ago. Why would they not do the same with Desmond Watson, right? So they're giving him every chance to lose weight and to try and make the football team. So I don't think they'll cut him at this point. I think at this point they're going to try and work on him as a project. Maybe by the deadline, if the weight is still that big of a concern, they'll do something and say, hey, we hope to bring you back to the practice squad if you lose a couple more pounds. But remember, at that point, another team's eligible to sign him too. And who knows, a team like the Eagles might scoop him up, and next thing you know, he loses 20, 30 pounds. And I think the Bucs want this to be their project, and I think they're going to give him every chance to get into game shape, get on the football field. Plus, he'll be cut, but I think he'll be on the practice squad is my point. I don't think he's not clearly going to make the active at this point, but he'll make the practice squad for sure. Again, if he wasn't going to make the practice squad, he would have been out by now. He would have been gone, just like Ryan Coe. So I think people are sleeping on him making the practice squad. I think that's almost a shoo-in for him to make the practice squad. J-Lo, thoughts on Winfield's birthday and Desmond Watson, his status?
Yeah, shout out to Antoine Winfield Jr. Happy birthday, young man. Hopefully you stay healthy, off the injury list. We need you back at all-pro level. You were a couple seasons ago. Shout out to him. Hopefully he'll heal up well, with the soreness he has going on. Desmond Watson, as we talked about Tones many times, it's up in the air. We don't really know what's really going to happen. We could say he'll be likely cut, most likely. but practice squad is definitely an option. To me, I feel this is going to be a redshirt year for him. Try to lose the weight. Get
Exactly. That's a good term.
To me, 26 is the window for him next year. I think he can lose the weight, but unfortunately, when you're a big guy like that, it's hard to lose it. It's hard, and he's even admitted that he's had eating issues, going through Florida and all that stuff. So, to me, I feel this will be a redshirt year for him, and I think he'll be patient enough to sit out. He'll learn the playbook, which is good. He'll learn behind Vita Vea, behind the practice scenes, picking brains. He's a smart kid. I feel practice squad's an option, or they could put him on the physically unable to perform list. I mean, they could find some way to keep him without taking up a roster spot, because that's what's important. We need that available roster spot for another player on the roster because injuries do happen. So, to me, redshirt year for Watson. We're all rooting for the kid. Go out there and be great, ball out because he can. I believe in him.
Yeah, and let me rephrase. Originally, I might have, minced some words. I don't know if I said cut or not, but I think he'll make the practice squad. Yes, you end up getting cut and then signed to the practice squad. So not to confuse anybody, I do believe, too, he'll be cut. And as J-Lo said, either practice squad, pup list. There's a million ways to kind of dance around this thing while maintaining the rights to Desmond Watson. So I think he'll end up being a red shirt. I think that was a great term. J-Lo, and really, again, the Bucs knew what they were getting into when they signed him, right? They knew this was going to be a project. How realistic was it to go from 470 pounds to 400 pounds from, early May to August? That would have been quite the turnaround. So, Katz, quick thoughts on him? Any thoughts on him? I think it's a guy who they want to stay. They hope he plays. This year, they'll see if he gets in shape, but next year, if he's not, he's done.
Yeah, this was, I think, meant to be a long-term project to begin with. It's not realistic. It's not even healthy, really, to lose certain amounts of weight in short periods of time, even if it's required for this. So I think that's how they always looked at it. And yeah, I hope they can, get him on the practice squad. I honestly think they'll be able to if they want to. I don't see any other teams claiming him, to be honest with you. And then, yeah, it's a matter of continuing to work, meet the requirements that they have. And, yeah, hopefully 2026 is his year.
I think you make a great point, Katz. The only team I could see is like the Eagles trying something, right? They're always claiming guys and making them into things. But I think you guys make some good points. I think we're all in agreement that we believe this is probably a project, and he probably will make his way onto the pup list or practice squad. But we'll see. All us three agree on that. Again, I just don't see them. I think he made top 10 in the NFL and UDFA money guaranteed. I don't think the Bucs give him that money and then end up releasing. I know it's not a ton of money and the Bucs could kind of shelve it, but that's just not how the Bucs work that often. They don't really pay guys just to cut them. Their front office doesn't do that too much. So I think he'll maintain his way in the organization at some point. And who knows, they could have an under the table agreement as well where, hey, this is our plan with you. This is what we're going to do with you. I mean, he's not even on the football field yet. If the Bucs were going to cut him because, it just would make sense for them to release him already if they didn't have any plans of him being on the practice squad or the pup list or something. B-Shuck says, I don't think he ends up on the practice squad either. Yeah, maybe the pup list. Even those practice squad spots are valuable. And yeah, exactly. But he's viewed as a valuable guy. Remember, the day we signed him, they were hyping him up on social media as a tush-push Terminator. They literally were posting videos of him with Vito, with Cansey, right, wrong, or indifferent. This team views him as important. They showed that already through social medias and by his guaranteed money through that UDFA contract. So I hear what you guys are saying. Going to be an uphill battle for the guy. I just have a feeling in me he winds up on this team, whether it's practice squad, pup list, or one of those things. We have our guy. Are you alive out there in Rhode Island? How the hell are you doing, brother?
Yes. Good afternoon. Good morning, gentlemen, all the way out from Rhode Island for a wedding. Never been here before, but it's very nice. A lot of water. A lot of bridges. Been driving over a lot of bridges lately. But, I'm pumped up for today. Colts have a big game. Daniel Jones will get the first two series, and Richardson will get the rest of the half. So it's going to be a big game for the decision making. I hope it goes AR's way, but we'll see what happens. And nice to join today.
Yeah, and we'll see. That's going to be an interesting quarterback battle. We'll get to that here in the very near future. That'll be a fun one against the Packers. Packers are always a good team to play preseason games against because they're very good in depth. They're very well prepped. They're very well coached. You really get the best out of the Green Bay Packers in the preseason. So I like that draw for the Colts. It's a very good mold of a realistic type game plan. And speaking of game plan, J-Lo, thoughts, score predictions, and player of the game predictions for the Bucs today against Pittsburgh, my friend?
Give me Bucs 28, Pittsburgh 17. I think we're more depth than Pittsburgh is all around the roster, if you ask me. MVP of the game, you know what? Give me Josh Williams, the running back we all been waiting for to see. I think him coming off his injury, I know the Bucs were very big on him. I think he's going to get a lot of carries in the second half, probably late second quarter, because they're not going to rest Bucky Irving or Sean Tucker. So give me Josh Williams. I'm really rooting for that kid.
Cats, before you give yours, what do you want to give away next, brother? You want to give away a creamsicle koozie, a flag, a hook, one of those pirate ship foam fingers? What do you want to give away?
Let's do a koozie.
Koozie, let's do it. And Cats, while we get that out, what's your score prediction and player to look out for today, brother?
I'm going to go Bucs 24-13. And since I'm high on this guy, I'm going to go with him, Devin Culp.
I love that. I think Culp is going to – I think he's not going to make a run at Otten for tight end one, but he's going to make a lot of plays this year. Let me put it like that. And I think it's going to give the Bucs flexibility to be complete. And I love Cade Otten, but I think it'll give the Bucs flexibility to say, hey, we don't have to break the bank on Cade Otten if we don't want to bring him back. And that's no disrespect to Cade, but I think Devin Culp will be that good. Again, he's huge. He gets open. Yeah. He catches the ball, and he makes plays. Cats, what was your score again, brother?
I said 24-13. And just to add to that, yeah, Culp, I mean, obviously, the knock on him, I think why he fell to the seventh round as a tight end is the blocking. But you can still use him because he becomes a real mismatch, especially if you split him out as a wide receiver. And the blocking can come along because I don't remember Cade Otten being known as a great blocker or, maybe he was a below average blocker at the beginning. Now he's become kind of a do-it-all guy. He blocks well. He catches well. But he doesn't have the physical gift. When I say physical, obviously these guys are all physically gifted. He doesn't have quite as much of that, in my opinion, as Devin Culp. I think Culp has, he's got a, more just athleticism in general in terms of catching the ball, running routes, maybe being able to get deep. So I'm really interested to see what he does here in his second season. We saw a lot. We saw a good glimpse of him in the final games, the 2 games last year at the end.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. And Devin Culp, when, like you said, when duty called last year, he answered and he got his ass in there and he produced, man. He's a fast guy, a big specimen. Christopher Cole Watson was seen doing sprints a few days ago. Exactly. A step in the right direction, right? And some people might scoff at that, but I truly think the Bucs have a plan for the guy. I really do. Jeroman, what's going on, gentlemen? What's going on, Jay Roman? How the hell are you doing? Welcome in to the Buccateers. We got our guy from Serbia, Nenad Matic. Go Bucs. How you doing, Nenad? We welcome you in, my friend. Christopher said on Watson, he said that the Glazers coaches and trainers have been very helpful and they have a plan. See, again, I think all these people are writing Watson off too quickly. He will be on the practice squad or the pup list in some capacity. I'm calling it right now. So great stuff there from our guy, Christopher Cole. Nenad waiting for the game. Yes. Kat says Culp. J-Lo is Josh Williams. I'm going to go with Bucs have Teddy B and Trask playing, so I think they will put up some points. I think they're going to get I'll go 20. You never know with preseason. They try 2-pointers. They do some kooky shit. I'll try 26-21. The Bucs win a higher score in preseason battle. I think Pittsburgh has some good backups. The Bucs have some good backups, so it's going to be a little interesting to see. That's a high-scoring game for preseason, I know, so that means someone's going to have to ball out. I'll go with our guy Ryan Miller again, as he really vies to make the roster front of the programs. He's expected to join the show here eventually. Joey, quickly thoughts on Bucs quick score prediction player of the game today? Teddy Bridgewater, Trask maybe catching your eye?
Yeah, I'll go Bucs 30, Pittsburgh 24. What I'm looking for, I mean, from watching the Bucs games last year, I remember the safety and linebacker depth was an issue, right? So in this game, you get to maybe see some of that happen. Levante David is amazing, but also a year older. Antoine Winfield, a little bit banged up, as we know, even though he seems that he'll be fine, of course. But I want to see that depth play into a factor. You know, a Deion Jones, Savachier Dennis is healthy, I know. They also got Greer Jr. and Bullock, as you all know, and then at safety behind you have Izzian and Merriweather. I just want somebody to kind of step up and make sure that if something does happen with the linebacker or safety room this season, that they have somebody they fully trust in to step up and play. So that's just what I'll be looking at, is that linebacker and safety depth. And then I'll go, you know what? I don't know exactly how many starters are playing. I'm not as tuned in as you guys. So for player of the game, hopefully he gets some, but I'll give a shout out Payne Durham. If they're going to score 30 points, let's see what Payne Durham's got today. We keep going with the tight end room. Why not? I assume Otten maybe not playing, not really sure. I see questionable on a list on it. So
yeah, he didn't play last week. He might get a couple snaps, and I wouldn't view it as much more than that as he's working his way back from injury. But I do love Payne Durham's pick. I love that one. He's looking to make a big impact. Him and Devin Culp are in competition, as is Keith. It's going to be a tough uphill battle for this roster. And speaking of competition, we got Colts quarterback competition. We got Bucs creamsicle koozie to give away now. What a year for you!
That's a beauty.
I was saying that is a beauty. Damn.
That is awesome. 50th season brings out big guns. We already had our guy Fred win a flag. Fred brought home a flag, and now somebody's going to bring home a koozie. This one's going to be a little more tricky and Buccateers centric, though. So I hope you bring your A game. We have Cats, Tampa Tones, J-Lo, and Joey Nips in the house right now. That leaves 4 possible co-hosts who are not on the show right now. Some of them are frequent flyers. Some of them are not. Name 3 out of 4 possible co-hosts who are missing the Buccateers right now. Once again, we have 8 co-hosts. We have a couple of us here. 4 of us here. 4 of us are not here. Name 3 of the co-hosts. First one to name 3 co-hosts who aren't here right now will win this koozie. Pepin, one more flag is going to get given away, brothers, so stay tuned. Once you win once, you can't win again. So, you know, if you don't want this beautiful koozie, then maybe don't answer. B-Shuck, I'm out. LOL. Funny. You can name Zach, but, you know, that's probably all B-Shuck has in the tool shed. But, you know, look it up. You have time. Just first person to name 3 of the 4 Buccateers who are not on the show right now will win that koozie. Speaking of competition, I
need to get one of those koozies. Those are beautiful.
I know. It's like I need to get one. I might just keep it. Giveaway off, people.
Where'd you get it?
I got a bag full of goodies from one of our co-hosts.
Right. That's right.
From one of our co-hosts, Stunna. Stunna donated a bag full of goodies to do giveaways with, and that's where a lot of this great stuff came. Wait till you see the Mike Elstad Ring of Honor Hall of Fame coin. That's awesome. So a lot of good stuff in this. So yeah, if we have extras, I'll send it to some of you gents as well. Maybe if
I have the All-Star one. I was at that game, and I can confirm it's a beauty.
Yeah, that coin. Those are cool. What they do with that. So, Pepin Steppin saying he knows the answers, but he wants the flag, so he's not going to name. That's fair. That's fair. We'll let you name him, Pepin, and if you want to substitute the flag for that, you can, and then we'll give away the koozie later. So there you go. I'll give you that stipulation as well. Joey, speaking of competitions and stipulations, the Colts have an uphill battle at quarterback, and we hope it's Anthony Richardson. The Colts hope it's Anthony Richardson. That's going to be a heated one today. Daniel Jones gets the start because Richardson did last week. And then Richardson will come in after Jones. Joey, give us your Colts corner, your thoughts on the game today for the guys in Indianapolis.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because I'm obviously advocating for Richardson, but right now, when you look at these QBs in camp, it's kind of like Daniel Jones will be your steady Eddie, where you'll get that pretty good completion percentage, but he won't wow you. He'll probably have a couple of touchdowns and 1 interception, and that will take you the middle of the pack the whole season, and not too high, too low. With Richardson, you're going to get the high highs and the low lows, and it averages out to right where Daniel Jones is. So it's kind of more of what your flavor is, and to me, Coach Steichen this year, big year number 3, is going to be about consistency. He wants to make sure that they can read the plays, be able to go down the field and score touchdowns, not field goals. And if you look at Richardson's play last week when he got injured, he did misread the coverage. He could have hot routed quick, and then he got hit in his finger. Was just demolished. If you saw, it was kind of hanging to the side. But he's had a good offseason, and I hope he wins. And he needs to stay healthy because, look, at the end of the day, the GM, the coach, and Richardson are all tied together, in my opinion. If you start Daniel Jones this season, he's a free agent. Colts are not paying him $40 million a year or some wild contract after this year to be their future. That's a lot of risk and a lot of money for a guy who's been very up and down. So to me, it needs to be Richardson. I'm looking for him to be consistent today. I don't need to see that 70-yard touchdown pass. I need to see 11, 12-play drive where he's hitting the outs, he's hitting the slants, and everything seems to be coming together, and he has true command. Because if you looked at last year, he had a lot of clutch moments in the second half. He had comebacks against the Jets, the Patriots. That's not his problem. It's amazing that the wild plays are the pressure situations. It's the layups. If he can hit the layups today and stay on the field, I think the competition will be called on Monday, and we'll hear that Richardson's the starter.
J-Lo, thoughts? You're the Florida guy.
No, I couldn't agree more. AR's got to go out there and ball out. I mean, he's really got to really ball out. With Daniel Jones, depending how he does in the start, obviously they're going to take it to 3 games, I feel, all 3 of the preseason games to make a decision. But AR just got to be consistent, stay healthy. I mean, he gets that big hit, which is a hard hit he took, and then he was out of the game. I mean, he's got to ball out, man. This is now or never. He needs to go out there, ball out.
And the best ability is what, J-Lo?
Say it again?
The best ability is what?
Availability. Yes, sir. No, couldn't agree more. He's got to be available and go out there and ball out and look like the true number 1-4 pick he was. And he can. He just got to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you go on the bench.
Yeah, and that's just that. Cats, any thoughts? Richardson, Daniel Jones, the state of the Colts, who might win that battle in your eyes for quarterback?
I think they have too much invested in Anthony Richardson. And obviously it's meritocracy based on who plays better, though. It's not based on how much they have invested in you. But I still like AR's chances to win the job. And I think he has such a much huger upside, of course, than Daniel Jones. So ultimately, I think he will win the battle.
Grizz, you're very close, Grizz. You have 2 of them. Huncho is an alumni. Should we give him that because Huncho's an alumni? Do we give him an alumni guest or do we not? Cats, do you think that?
I think that's good enough. I think so. He was with us for a while.
Yeah, I agree. J-Lo, Joey, thoughts? Does that count as the correct answer?
I'll give it to him, but let me say this. Keep up, buddy. You got lucky on this one.
No, I say give it to him. Like I said, he's been on a few pods. He's alumni. That's fine. We'll go with that. Congratulations, Bruce.
It's like the WWE when you retire, they give you your own alumni page. It's like we got to create that. We'd have Huncho. We'd have a couple, Cody G. We'd have a couple others in the alumni category. The Big Bukowski, Samsung. Yeah, we've had a couple good ones. Tanner Chef. So, Grizz, reach out to me on Twitter, brother, and you will win the koozie. Wow, Chris, I like that answer. Plus and JC are frequent flyers, but they're not full-time co-hosts. But that's a hell of an answer as well. I could tell you watch.
Yeah.
But,
I like that avatar Grizz has. Is that a grizzly bear with a Bucs hat on? I really like it, but my eyes might be failing me.
yeah, it is.
It is? That's fantastic.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Outstanding.
Grizz has some good graphics and stuff. I've been following Grizz for a while. He's been a long time watcher. Grizz has been around for years. Some shows he pops in, some he doesn't, but that's part of life. So we appreciate you, Grizz. Reach out to me. We'll get you your creamsicle koozie. Maybe you could fix your bear hat to a creamsicle hat and put the koozie in there as well. At least for 3 weeks.
Have the bear holding the koozie. That would be good.
That would be really cool. And we'll wrap up some Colts talk as we're live on the Buccateers here. It's our Saturday Showdown weekend of football kickoff show, our 300th episode. Bucs Steelers, Colts Packers, pigskin hot potato, breadwinners, college football next week. It is loaded time of the year here in the world of football. Joey, thoughts, score predictions for the Colts today? Anything you're looking out for in particular?
We talked about the quarterback, but I also want to see the quarterback get helped, right? I want to see A.D. Mitchell, who's had a good training camp from an off-rookie season, step up again. Tyler Warren, the huge tight end out of Penn State, he has been phenomenal. You throw it within 5 feet of that guy, I promise you he's coming down with the football. So the pass catchers are big for me today because we do have some decisions near the end between wide receiver and tight end. If I had to give a score prediction, we're at home and we're playing more starters than them. I know it's just preseason, but no excuse to lose this one. I'm going to go Colts 27, Green Bay 17. No Jordan Love today. It will be Malik Willis, who actually beat us last year, but finally, I think with a new defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo, it's been such a breath of fresh air. So again, Colts 27, Green Bay 17. Look for the pass catchers to be quite active with the QBs today.
J-Lo, thoughts on the game in total for Green Bay, Indianapolis. And if you are watching on YouTube right now, hit that like button, subscribe button, turn that notification bell on for the Buccateers. Never miss an episode.
No, it should be entertaining. I feel we'll get an entertaining game with Malik Willis at quarterback, who did pretty good last year, stepping in for Jordan Love. But like Joey said, no excuses. Colts should be able to pull that win out at home in front of the home crowd, no matter who's in at quarterback or anywhere position.
Yeah, agreed on that. Cats, quick thoughts on Colts Packers as we look to wrap up here and move on to the next topic.
Yeah, Colts I like. Obviously Green Bay, understandably resting Jordan Love, and I'm sure others as well. Colts, have a quarterback competition going. Usually you'll probably see more from that. So I think the Colts will win. It'll be a close one though. I'd say 21-17.
Yeah, I like that score a lot. And, that's what you get with these preseason. At least you'll get Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson. You'll get Riley Leonard. You'll get Malik Willis on the Packers side. So it at least adds some
Do they still have
intensity.
Sean Clifford, your guy, Tones?
Yeah, they still got Clifford. He's still hanging around. He's the Packers' third-string quarterback right now. Maybe fourth, but I know he's third or fourth. He's probably battling it out over there for third or fourth. So I'm going to go with I like the high scoring trend. I'll go with 27-24 Colts in that one. And I'll go with, I think Richardson looks well and plays well out there today. Other games today, 1 o'clock Eastern, Dolphins travel to Detroit, Miami, Detroit going over there. Once, like we said, Green Bay, Indy, 1 o'clock Eastern in Indy. Carolina travels to Houston. Battle of the NFC AFC South, Carolina, Houston, 1 o'clock Eastern. Cleveland, Philly, the great Kenny Pickett trade happened this offseason between those two, and now they square up 1 o'clock Eastern over there. Dylan Gabriel starting, I believe. Patriots, Vikings, 1 o'clock Eastern. We saw Mike Vrabel get into the middle of the tussle the other day in practice. We'll see if more tussles approach as that game approaches today. 49ers, Raiders, 4 o'clock Eastern. Chargers, Rams, 7 o'clock Eastern, but we'll all be watching Bucs Steelers at 7 o'clock Eastern live from Pittsburgh. Battle of New York's on the line. Jets, Giants, that one's at 7. Ravens.
In New Jersey.
Yeah.
I just always get a kick out of that for some reason.
Joey and I know that far too well because we went to a wrestling event there years ago, and we actually stayed in New Jersey because we're like, what the hell's the point of staying in New York if you got to travel back for the stadium in New Jersey? So,
and it's the hardest stadium to get out of. It is brutal, a nightmare to get out of that place. One way in, one way out.
Because it's like you can't walk anywhere. It's in the middle of the highway. It's like, kind of a death trap in terms of trying to get the hell out of there if you want to take an Uber or something. But yeah, the Battle of New Jersey, we'll say. Baltimore, Dallas, 7:00 Eastern. Arizona, Denver, 9:30 Eastern. And then we wrap up preseason with a couple of games tomorrow, Monday. Jacksonville and New Orleans, 1:00 Eastern tomorrow. Tyler Shuck going in that one for New Orleans. Buffalo and Chicago, Sunday Night Football, 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then the Bengals and Commandos, the Commodes, 8:00 Eastern, Monday Night Football over there. So note preseason's always funny. The last 2 weeks, you had Thursday Night Football both weeks. Now this week you have no Thursday night, but you get Sunday night and Monday night. Next week you get no Sunday or Monday night, but you get Thursday night. So it's always a crazy bonanza blitz type of schedule here in the preseason. But I love it. It's game after game. Time slot. It feels like baseball, right? You get games at 1, 4, 7, 10. Pretty cool stuff over there. Speaking of cool, we're going to have loaded schedule this week here on the Buccateers. Tuesday night, we're going to be here with 5 great reporters for our Power Hour. We're going to have Rock Riley of WDAE, longtime Tampa sports radio coverage person. He's going to be here. Adam Slilvan from Pewter Report. He'll be in the house. River Wells from Bucs Sports Illustrated Game Day. He'll be in the house. Aaron Jacobson from the Pat and Aaron Show. He'll be joining the program. And the young phenom Christopher Mathis from The Drive with T. Crass will be joining the show as well. He also hosts Chris and Casey on the weekends. And then Wednesday, we're going to have our weekend show, actually. So be prepared. Wednesday, we're going to have this same type of show next Wednesday night, previewing college football week 0. Cannot believe we have college football games here next week. And then Thursday, the debut of J-Lo's show comes out, a 5-minute special previewing the world of college football. So, man, we're full steam ahead come this week on the Buccateers. Shows Tuesday, show Wednesday, show Thursday. And yeah, we're here to celebrate college football next week. J-Lo, thoughts? College football's here. 1 week away from real football, real organized football.
No, absolutely. So many good matchups, which I'll discuss on my show when it comes up. Looking forward to it. I miss it. We all love the world of college football. It just excites you even more for the weekend. We're back. And there's so much talent I can't wait to talk about, on my little show. So let's go.
Joey, thoughts on week 0 quickly approaching? We're about 1 week away exactly from college football kickoff.
I can't believe it. And that's why I say people enjoy everything right now, because before you know it, we're in November, December, where the college season's winding down, football playoffs. There's nothing better than right now. Enjoy it. The summer went by way too fast. Week 0, I'm glad they added that in there. Everyone gets a nice taste. I think there's one ranked game next week. If I'm not mistaken, it might be Kansas State versus
Iowa State. Yeah.
There you go. So that will be a nice tease. And then my Irish have a big one Labor Day weekend. So I'm looking forward to it all. I know preseason, some people I keep hearing people say, just get me to the regular season. Enjoy the last month this summer. Enjoy these times, because before you know it, we're already talking off-season mode. So let's enjoy every day.
Yeah, quickly, next week's slate before we get Cats, quick thoughts, and the breadwinners and so much more. Iowa State, Kansas State, battle of 22 versus 17. That's going to be across the pond in Europe. That'll be at noon Eastern next week to kick off the college football season live on ESPN. Going to be a fun one there. Then Idaho State takes on the Fighting Dan Mullins of UNLV. Dan Mullen, the new coach of UNLV, former Gators coach. That game's at 4:00 Eastern. Fresno State, Kansas is a fun one, 6:30 Eastern on Fox. Sam Houston against Western Kentucky. CBS Sports Network at 7:00 Eastern. Then another fun one to and the night Stanford, Hawaii, 7:30 Eastern on CBS next week as well. So football is here right around the corner. Cats, I know you're not a huge college guy, but will you dip your toes into the sand on any of those as it's a kickoff to football?
I don't know if I'll dip into any of those. I am excited though for USF. Coach Golish, how can you not get fired up by him, right? I mean, he's just the guy you would, run through a wall for. So I'm excited to see how the season goes for them when it does get started.
And they have a very fun one. They're the first game out of week 0. They play Thursday at 5:30 Eastern.
Yep.
Boise State, 25th ranked in the country, travels to South Florida on Thursday, August 28th. So that game is going to be electric. Ray J is going to be rocking and rolling. I'm excited to see what South Florida does. J-Lo, when you're in town, I believe it's South Florida against Florida when you're here visiting.
Yeah, I was making plans to go to Gainesville, but I changed my mind, decided to come up to y'all. So
well, you could always go to Gainesville, bud.
No. I'm committed. I'm coming up to your neck of the woods, but I'll watch it from the man cave or wherever we go to watch it. I'll represent from a far distance.
Yeah, I love that. So we'll talk about that more on Wednesday's show as well, as we're here winding down and up on the Buccateers. Our breadwinners are coming up. Just a reminder, we take a yearly bet total during football season and then the off season, 2 different seasons, add up the money. If we end in positives, we end with the winning record. And we're 2-0. We had a winning record in our first season of doing breadwinners, and we had our winning record in the off season doing breadwinners. And we won a lot of money in the off season. I think we ended like plus $360 or something crazy.
It's a shame I don't actually bet these. Instead, I just lose money in other ways.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where if we bet them, though, they wouldn't hit, right? It's one of those tricky things. Let's see if J-Lo's hit from last time. The Reds lost. The Colts over hit. Let's see if J-Lo's hit. So we were 1-1 so far. J-Lo had the Rays Friday, August 8th. The Rays lost. So we went 1-2. We are now 4-2 in total, plus $20 on the season at 4-2, as we had a rough one. My Colts over was the only one that hit, but it's a new week, fellas. It's a new week. 4-2, plus $20 still overall on the season. So looking up there. J-Lo, speaking of looking up, we'll start with you, my friend, for your breadwinner of the weekend. What bet are you going to rock and roll with here in preseason week 2, week 3? I don't know what you call this because it's technically referred to as week 2, but the Hall of Fame game technically is week 1. So it's like, we'll just say week 2.
No, I agree, week 2. But I'm going to go on the road to UFC. We got a big championship fight tonight.
In Chicago, if tickets weren't $600, I'd be there. But come on, man. I'm not paying $600. No way.
For a nosebleed.
No, it's ridiculous how much they charge for the live event. But I think Duplessis is going to lose the strap tonight to Kazazat. I can't pronounce his last name. But he's 14. Yes, he's 14-0 for a reason. The guy is a mauler. I think, Tom, we watched him beat Usman a couple of years ago. So, to me, I feel like he's going to take the strap off Duplessis. So that's my prediction for tonight.
I love it. Yeah, I do want Duplessis to win, though. I will say that. So I'm hoping Duplessis wins. I like him more. I think he's a hell of a fighter. But it's going to be a tough battle, and Khamzat is the favorite. So, he's expected to win. Is Khamzat? Let's see his odds here. When I put him in. You didn't get his odds, did you, J-Lo?
No, I'm going back right now.
Oh, he's minus 250. Khamzat's minus 250. So there we go. $20 would win you about $8 on that bet. That's J-Lo's lock. Breadwinner. Joey, breadwinner of the weekend for you?
I'm actually going to stick with UFC as well. I'm a big fan of Michael Page. And he's plus 120, plus 120 for a decision. So I'm just looking for a decision out of Michael Page at plus 120. He's a little newer to the UFC still, but if you haven't got a chance to watch him fight, the time is now. The Undertaker theme he does, which is really cool when the bell dongs, and he's a menace. So I'm rooting for him to win plus 120 on the decision.
It'll be tough against Cannon Yard, but that is a good bet. You know, you just have to hope that the fight goes a distance and he wins that one, and then that is a good one. Kat, do you have any thoughts on? I know you're not the betting guy, but you do make some recommendations here and there. Anyone in the world of baseball you like or something?
Gosh, who are the Guardians? Who are they playing again? Because I remember looking last night because I'm curious to see if they catch the Yankees. Because my second favorite team is whoever plays the Yankees. My third favorite's ever played Boston. The Rays are my favorite. So Guardians right behind.
Atlanta's in Cleveland.
That's right, and I was surprised to see the Guards took an L to them last night. So give me the Guardians on the money line over the Braves.
I like
I'd
that.
love to pick the Rays. I'd love to say I think, but they're so hit or miss, Played well won last night, and, Verlander's 1-9, so that means they're going to win, right? No. If only it worked that way. If only it were that easy.
They need a little winning streak here if they want any sorts of action at a run, so hopefully they could win tonight. But, yeah, I mean, past couple games they've been playing a little better. We'll see if they can keep it up. But, Cats, I like that Guardians pick. Indians, Guardians. But, yeah.
I still was about to say Indians. I was ready to say Indians, and then I had to catch myself.
One of those things that's tough. But they got shut down by a good rookie last night. Hurston Waldrop pitched for the Braves.
Right.
He looked really good. So I think Guardians bounce back. Our guy, Mr. Magic, says Emeka Egbuka is going to be an all-timer. He's a class act so far. So let's hope he does pan out as an all-timer. Bucs on the money line. I feel like they're just really damn good in preseason the past couple of years. So I'm going to go with Bucs minus 155. And I like that with Trask playing, Bridgewater playing, and I like Blazek, what he showed last week, Basilick, the UDFA out of Bowling Green. If he does play today, I think Bucs set themselves up well for a preseason W. So we're spreading it out. 2 UFCs. J-Lo's going with Kamzat. Joey's going with the Michael Page decision. Katz is going with Guardians on the money line. And Tones is going with Bucs on the money line. Going to introduce our final giveaway for today before we get to final words for the program and so much more type of things like that. Let's see. What are we going to give away? We'll do the next flag. We'll do another flag for a giveaway. And then we still got a lot of good goodies for the next show. We still got the L-Stock coin. We still got this thing's pretty cool. This thing's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like a foam finger,
Oh, I have one of those from way back in the day. Somewhere, if I still have it.
Walk the plank, matey. Walk the plank. So we'll see what.
I have one of those.
Last giveaway is another flag, another brand new spanking flag. You can see it in the package, and we don't give away used stuff. We don't give away old stuff. We're giving away brand new stuff. The koozie and the both flags are still in the packaging. The last trivia question will be, drum roll, please. Pep and Step. There we go. Pep and Step. And if you're still out there, this is a moment you waited for, bud. You said you surpassed the koozie to win this, although I gave you the option and it didn't come. But we'll go with this. Name 2 head coaches in Buccaneers history that the Bucs traded for. Name 2 head coaches in Buccaneers history that the Bucs have traded for, and the answer should be very easy. It should be very, very easy. So we'll see. Nothing comes easy in life, but for a flag, name 2 coaches in Buccaneers history that the Bucs have traded for. Hey, JT Olson, winner chicken dinner, ice water Olson all over.
Good job.
So JT, I remember you entered our Luke Godecki autograph mini helmet giveaway a year or 2 back, and you wanted that. Well, at least you win the flag now, brother. So ice water Olson, hit me up on Twitter, JT, and we'll get the flag out to you. So once again, great job. JT is a winner. Grizz is a winner. And our guy Fred is a winner as well. Very good winners. 2 flags and a koozie with more giveaways to come. So J-Lo, quick thoughts on the giveaways before final word. That was pretty fun.
No, absolutely. Very fun. And thank you for the listeners for participating and throwing out your efforts out there. Shout out to all y'all. You're all the ones, glad the 3 winners got it. And we got more to come. So, keep tuning in, support the pod.
Yeah, we always do our Bucsmas holiday giveaways. That's always a big time of year where we do them. So be on the lookout for that. This is honestly our first time we ever gave them away live on the show to celebrate 300. And you guys help us make it. So we thought we'd give back to you guys live. And it was awesome. JT, Fred, and Grizz. Good stuff there. Joey, thoughts quickly on the giveaways before we get to final words?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to do all mine right here because I'm about to hit the water out here in Rhode Island. It's too beautiful to pass up before this wedding I had tonight. But I think the giveaways are great. I think all the guests that have been coming on, I mean, people are coming to the Buccateers, people that have had Bucs backgrounds for many years from many different places. So I wanted to shout that out because that's very cool. We keep growing there. And then the giveaways, we're showing that we care about the fans. A lot of people will say they care about the listeners, but how many podcasts or channels read every comment that people make? And how about the giveaways that are completely new and not just something off Tones' big buck shelf that we all know he has as well. So shout out to both of those. And gentlemen, I hope you enjoy all the games today. It looks to be a beautiful day in many areas of the United States. So let's have a good one. And we're just one step closer to the main stage. Y'all have a good day.
You have a great day out there in Rhode Island. Stay on the boat, not in the water if you're going on.
Don't fall out.
No boats for me. I'm just going to be more looking.
There we go. Yeah, a lot of good stuff to look at, I'm sure. Joey Nips out of the building. Enjoy your Saturday, bruv. Have a good one.
Thank you. You all too.
And then it's 3 of the Buccateers.
Rhode Island is nice. I've been. My mom went to college there. It's a really nice state. Well, I never went in the winter, so I know in the summer it's nice. Beaches are
not
nice.
go to college, Cats?
URI, University of Rhode Island.
That's a good school.
Yeah.
Good school. Yeah, I got to get out there. I'm not. I haven't been. It's hard to get northeast, you know. Olivia's out there right now. She's in New Jersey for her sister's bachelorette party, and Joey's out there for a wedding. I'll be in Miami next weekend. It's just crazy times. Real quick, Poker Gut says, how many series is Bucky getting today? I'll go with 2. I'll say 2. I was going to go with 1, but I'll say 2. Cats, thoughts?
1. I think 1.
Yeah, we can't hurt Bucky after getting Rashad hurt, right? J-Lo, thoughts?
No, I agree. I prefer none, but one series most likely. You don't want to lose him too. So
the breadwinners will be coming out as we give our final words. J-Lo, final word for the program on this beautiful Saturday.
Great show, number 300. You know, congrats to all the people that are still around on the pod. Shout out to the alumni that have been part of the pod from the start. And shout out to the commenters and listeners once again. Thank you for watching. And we got more shows cooking up, and we can't wait. Season's almost here.
Yeah, Cats, thoughts on today's show? 300 episodes. You've been with us for pretty much the entirety of it, brother. So awesome stuff. And the best is yet to come, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't. I don't think, it's 50th season of the Buccaneers, 300th episode of the Buccateers. I don't know if you can really tell the real whole history of the Buccaneers without the Buccateers, just the thought. But we appreciate our listeners, and also major shout out to Stunna for donating these great prizes to give out to our wonderful listeners.
Yeah, Cats, that was awesome. I didn't even put that together. 50th season of the Bucs, 300th episode of the Buccateers. So there we go. We got a couple of really good stuff there. Once again, the breadwinners are now all in the chat. We did get one last question from Joshua, other than Watson size, which they are trying to take away his only talent. Where's his worth? He's talentless. Cut him. How is he talentless, sir? Let me just ask you that. He played college football, and now he's in the NFL. So remember, even on his worst day, he's better than anyone. He's in the top 0.1% of the world. He's a professional football player. Calling him talentless is a bit of a stretch. It's a fart. Yes, his size is his biggest, no pun intended, his size is his biggest attractiveness, right? But I mean, physical specimen all over are just attracted for size, but in other reasons, in other sports, right? You draft NBA guys because they're tall. You draft baseball players because they're small and quick and durable. Every sport has a size stature, and just because his best talent is being big doesn't mean he's talentless. Like we said, if you watch the beginning of the show, You would have heard us say he's a work in progress and a project, and the Bucs will probably let him be on the practice squad or PUP list, trying to figure out those things. So I wouldn't call him talentless. I agree with you. His size is his best ability, but I wouldn't say the guy is talentless when you play at Florida and then you're on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think talentless is probably the wrong word, but that's just me. Final word for me, UFC on today, preseason football on today, MLB important matchups on today, WNBA on today. A week from now, you have college football. My, oh my, we are in a great situation in the world of sports. It was just the 813 day in Tampa. Shout out to everybody who celebrated the 813 day. It was just Creamsicle Day. Shout out to everybody who celebrated Creamsicle Day. Now it's Bucs preseason week 2, Buccateers 300th episode, Bucs 50th season, UFC in Chicago. Just crazy stuff today. Hopefully the Rays and the Cubs could win. Hopefully UFC's a good one, and hopefully the Bucs could bring it home. J-Lo Cats, any last words before we bounce out here on this beautiful Saturday, fellas?
Have a good Saturday. Talk to y'all soon, man. Go Bucs.
Yep. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks always for listening.
Again, don't be confused. Peeps going to roll both modern and old school intros on the way out. Outros, I should say, to give that 300th episode type feel, to, give that 300th episode type vibe. But we'll play both outros and we'll be out of here. Fire the damn cannons, A-Cats, Joey Nips, J-Lo, Tampa Tones here. And from the rest of the crew, Gene, Bucko, Stunna, who couldn't make it in the Great Bucs by 30. Our guy Zach, who will be at the game today as well. Be on the lookout on our Twitter. We'll be bringing you a lot of Zach's game day coverage. It's been a beautiful episode, fellas. Thanks for the giveaways. Once again, Fred winning a flag, Grizz winning a koozie, and our guy JT Olson winning a flag as well. We'll have more giveaways as the 50th season, as the 300th episode soaks in. Fire the damn cannons. Have a great Saturday, everybody. Peace. Bro, we'll put it like that.
Nice.
What's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Coe's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
Awesome.
It was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, "Say it ain't so, Coe! Say it ain't so!" Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game, but it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time.
Yeah.
But how was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wished I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just that, man, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like he's got the ball yet. I mean, first NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, that's so cool to see. And it was fun to watch. And, yeah, it didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory! What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those. One of the best guests ever, the Buccateers in the house. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work. Nothing like it. So it's incredible. It looks like we got Stunna bumbling in. I'm Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like you got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
and he was trying to pull me in big time. And then I was like, hey, nothing's happened with Indianapolis yet. Like, I really want to give Indy a chance. And then also I talked to Cody Bruton, once he took over Richmond Camden, still like, but look, I was like, y'all just give me the opportunity to explore free agency, see what's going on, and then kind of make it do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Buccateers of wide receiver Kalen Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod. This is the Buccateers. You're tapped in, and here we go. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something.